despite our successes, there are obviously still many powerful voices that continue to push for bad trade agreements that will continue killing off good family-sustaining jobs and put us at risk in many ways. Collective bargaining, human rights, livable wages, product safety, environmental protections, and other laws put in place to safeguard our citizens. Those of us in this room all value those things, and we see them as social goods, but they are all threatened by the many powerful voices of politicians, governments, and multinational corporations who see them as barriers to trade. Because of trade agreements that do away with these barriers, not only have we seen job loss by the millions in this country, but we've also seen wages suppressed as worker is pitted against worker, as companies move from country to country, wherever protections for workers and the environment are the weakest, and where fair trade practices are shoved under the rug, all while leaving communities across the globe to deal with the aftermath. Since China entered the World Trade Organization in 2001, over 1 million American manufacturing jobs have been lost due to unbalanced trade with that country. About 58,000 of those 1 million jobs came from Minnesota. That number ranks our state number 6 nationwide, with our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd congressional districts in the top 50 for job loss to China. And of course, this doesn't take into consideration job loss in other sectors and to other failed agreements like NAFTA. These statistics alone demonstrate that there is nothing free about the high cost of free trade. In this country, we will continue to see our ability to make things undermined, our future in green and high-tech jobs threatened, and workers and consumers compromised if our country doesn't change the way that we do trade. We can't continue to allow special interests to create our trade policies without regard to the people who do the work and the health of our planet. We can't continue to let our trade partners play by a different set of rules than American businesses and workers have to play by. We can make trade fair. We can make trade fair by enforcing our trade laws consistently and proactively. Next week, the U.S. House of Representatives might vote on a piece of legislation that will address our current trade balance with China. This is legislation that President Trump says can be the single most important step the U.S. government can take to create jobs at no cost to taxpayers. In this election season, we can make trade fair by supporting candidates who include fair trade commitments in their platform for job creation. Trade reform and a healthy economy are inseparable, and those who don't get it will only perpetuate the status quo. We can make trade fair by holding our elected officials accountable to the people they represent. And we can make trade fair by supporting workers in the global labor movement, because we know that when they succeed, workers here will succeed. And we can do this with all of you, with the support of organized labor, everybody in this audience. Whether it's by educating and mobilizing your members around trade issues, or directly questioning candidates and elected officials, all of you play a crucial role in connecting bad trade policies to job loss, a weak economy, and so many other issues that affect all of us. You are the best advocates for real trade reform. Please consider the Minnesota Fair Trade Coalition as a resource and a partner in the work that you do. And if your organization isn't a member already, please talk to me about joining. We have a table out in the lobby area. As future funding is uncertain, for this work to continue, it is imperative that unions step forward. So I'll wrap up my part here by reminding you all that trade is a good thing. We obviously need much more of it, but it needs to be done in a way that is fair and balanced so that it helps and not harms. Increasing our exports is a really nice idea, but without fundamental changes to the way we do trade, we won't get very far. By working in coalition, we can create a new model for trade that will help build a strong economy and a bright future for workers everywhere. Thanks very much for your time, and thanks for all the work that you do.